Oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, how lovely to see you. Like, I'm always filled with such joy when I see your beautiful face. I'm Chris, and you are gorgeous, attractive. It's the complexion. It's, how do I put this? It's like, you ever seen a beautiful, clear, blue sky? It's just, it's bright, it's beautiful, it's warming. Your complexion is like the sky, but more skin colored instead of blue. Today, I'd like to, well, let's turn that down first. I like to have a little conversation about motivation. Motivation, my friends. What to do with it, how to use it, the different types, the blah blah blah. See, the more control you have with your motivation, or rather your motivations, plural, multiple, multi-motivational, right? The more control you have in your your destiny, really, your direction, your ability to achieve whatever, you know. If you don't think about these things and you don't plan these things, even as a joke, like joking about in your brain hole, that, you know, you can motivate yourself this way or that way, then I tell you what, you know, you have less control in your whole life. Right, your whole life. The less you understand your own mind, the less control you have, or less influence you have over your life. So, let's talk about that. So, there are 3 levels of motivation that I'm going to describe. Of course, there's a trillion other different ways to describe what I'm going to describe, but I'm going to stick to these 3. Because they're kind of easy to understand. And I'm going to use the context of my own little journey with this speaker stuff. A lot of you guys know I'm actually getting stuff manufactured at the moment, some prototype equipment, and from there I'm going to hopefully scale it up and create a business for myself and start releasing other products that I've started designing and all this sort of stuff, right? That's the plan. That's the progression in theory. And there are lots of things that are driving me. That's like another way of saying lots of things that are motivating me. Driving me sounds a bit more useful because I have very much influence over those sort of things. And I'll give you the 3 headlines. We've got ego reasons, we've got day-to-day reasons, and we've got higher purpose reasons. Now, we'll start with the ego reasons in the context of this speaker business that I want to get into. I want to start manufacturing audio products, be them speakers or electrical components or whatever. Mind me taking off my jacket because it's getting kind of warm in here. It's a whole 13 degrees outside and I've got the flu, so I'm feeling pretty warm. So I want to do that. And from an ego reason, from an ego perspective, this thing, I have a lot of ego drivers, right? Ego drivers include, there were people in high school, students and teachers alike, that didn't believe in me. I believed in me, and I kept proving reasons to believe in me. But no one believed in me. Only my close friends really believed in me. Even some of my family didn't believe in me. You know, some people saying, why do you want to do this and that and the other? Why not just find a good job and just, you know, just find something stable and just roll with that, you know? And I'm like, nah, there's a better way to do this. And basically right now I'm in a position where I have a very, very stable job with a boss and all that. Everyone in the office I'm like friends with. We all get on really well. I'm treated really well. I get paid okay, and blah blah blah. You know, that's my position right now. So at the same time, I've got just enough disposable income that, you know, I could spend it on all these different toys and stuff, but I've chosen to spend it on toys that may become bigger. They may lead somewhere. In the case at the moment, I've invested a lot of money towards a audio product that I want to bring for sale, bring to market, and it cost me a lot of money, but I would spend that on something I shouldn't anyway. So, you know, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't work out, well, then I've wasted some money that I'll get back. So, but anyway, from the ego perspective, I can prove them wrong, right? On the other side of it's the same ego reasons, but I can get a lot of accolades. I can get a lot of praise, like, Chris, wow, it's amazing what you've achieved, which I get all the time. Wow, I can't believe that. In fact, what inspired this video is I bumped into an old school friend today, and I was telling him about it, and he said, so it sounds like you might end up being the next tech entrepreneur. And I'm like, my ego instantly went, yeah, I like the sound of that. Tech entrepreneur, yeah. And so my ego got this big old boost from that, you know what I mean? And so I get the praise. If there are any haters out there, I go, you've got no idea who I am and what I'm capable of, and that's fine. But you can just live in your little bubble. That's fine. My ego goes all condescending on them, just in my head. I don't tell them this, but you know, and it goes on and on and on and on, and blah blah blah. And so my ego gets this big boost. But the problem is that there's two sides to this coin, right? There's the good stuff and the bad stuff. The good stuff is that your ego reasons are going to be the biggest kick in the butt, the biggest motivator that you can, like, it has the most weight, the most power behind it to get you out of bed and get you started, right? And so nothing is really quite as powerful as an ego reason. There are other reasons, but for something that's just a passion project, or just something to better yourself, rather than something like a life or death, I have to get another job to save my family or something, that can be a bit of a better motivator. But when it comes to you doing something for yourself, ego reasons pretty much trump everything else in power and weight. So that's the good stuff. The bad side of it is that, unfortunately, those ego reasons never last. They're not. They don't have the longevity that the other two will have. And as I explain this, you'll start to see how each process it's a tool to achieve a purpose, and that's it. So anyway, that's my ego reasons, just to feel good about how great I am. And if there are any haters, they can just feed me to, like, yeah, well, I'll show them as well. You know, blah, blah, blah. Fun little ego trips, basically. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with using an ego trip to get you to take action. And even when you're feeling low and you're not feeling like it, sometimes that'll that'll go, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get out of bed because I want to, like, no one else is going to prove these dickheads wrong. I'm going to do that. I'm going to be that person who does that. So, but it's not sustainable, as I said. So the next level up is just your day-to-day stuff, your day-to-day lifestyle, and how it impacts that to motivate you. Well, one thing is that I actually genuinely love everything there is to do with this project of mine to create a business that can be profitable with audio products, right? So on the surface level, there's the design work, there's the manufacturing, there's the hands-on side of it where I'm actually physically constructing things. The next level up is negotiating with engineers and negotiating with just distributors and all this sort of stuff. And I really, really genuinely enjoy communicating with other people, right? The next level up from that within this realm of day-to-day stuff is I genuinely enjoy learning about these things as well. I watch videos, usually one a day at least, on average over the week, of how audio works, and there's a guy named Paul McGowan that I love watching his videos, and every day he releases a new video about how hi-fi works, and people post their questions, and I learn about that. I've also studied books on marketing, which I've found absolutely fascinating. I've learned that marketing is not for me, but I love knowing about it, and I love that when I do employ someone to help me with my marketing stuff, I'll actually have a clue what the hell they're talking about, what they're doing, and I'll be able to give input that is valid and useful to them, right? I can't give them valid, useful input to a professional if they are a professional and I'm not a professional. I'm just some chump who's like thinks he knows what's going on, right? So I've learned about patenting, which is really interesting as well, the process of that. I've learned about a little bit about business. Every company that I've worked for, I've studied how they do all the little things that they do, the bookwork, the payroll, the this, the that, all of that sort of stuff. I study it and I see what works and what doesn't. I had an employer who employed me when he wasn't ready to employ more people. So I've learnt from that as well. Do as much as I can by myself, and only relying on other people when I can't do it for myself, or I can't do it well enough for myself to achieve what I need to achieve. I feel good when I've emailed a distributor or a manufacturer and then I get their product in the mail. I think that feels amazing. That's a really cool thing that I get, right? I get a little buzz from that. And if anyone wants to talk about speakers, man, I will talk your ear off. I will talk your ear off until I pass out. My eyes rolled in the back of my head like I'm that into this stuff. And so from my day to day, it's quite motivating. It's quite a driving force. And so it means that because this is stuff that I do anyway, I already just look up these videos. I already think about how other people's how I'm going to build speakers for other people in their systems and all this sort of stuff. It's always on my mind, and I make sure that it's always on my mind so that I'm always motivated to do more, right? And then at the very, very top, we have our higher purpose. The top tier. Oh, sorry, bro, by the way, that middle reason, that day-to-day reason, it's not particularly powerful. It will last a reasonable amount of time, but I could lose interest in it, right? I could, in time, lose interest in speakers if that's my only motivator. because eventually the ego stuff will wear out. Like, that's not going to last forever. And then I'm going to be left with my day-to-day stuff. And, you know, I might get distracted or whatever. It's not a long-term motivator, but it's got a reasonable amount of weight and a reasonable amount of longevity. I would expect it to last a minimum of about 5 years, 5 more years, and a maximum of about, I don't know, 15 years, maybe 20 years. I don't know. And then the final step is the higher purpose motivators. The higher purpose, the drive that comes from your higher being, your higher purpose, all of these spiritual BS buzzwords, right? Now, it sounds silly to have a higher purpose, especially for someone like me. Oh, your speaker manufacturing is going to be your higher purpose. Well, yeah, I can think of lots of ways. Like, sort of on the lowest level, if my business becomes really successful, which I can't see why it wouldn't, then I'll have a lot more resources at my disposal. I'll have the ability to grow my business more because I'll have networked, so I have contacts that can help me out and that I can help them out. I can have, I'll have financial resources, obviously, if the business gets big enough. So I can expand my business. I can give to charities. There's a lot of little things that I can do. A lot of high-powered influence that I can really positively input into the world and really change things for the better, right? What else? There's just a lot more that I can give. The bigger the company, I can start employing people. I can employ disadvantaged people or minorities or something like that. Maybe. I don't know. I can help them out. I've thought about that, you know. So, or whatever it might be, I can do that. So, and if I've got the cash, if I've got the cash flow, then I can absolutely help a lot of people out. But on the higher level than that, there's my influence on people around me. Now, when I'm building things, when I'm manufacturing things, when I'm designing stuff, I have a lot of energy, a whole lot of energy inside me. I'm diagnosed with ADHD, guys. I've got so much physical and mental energy. Today, the other weekend, I went to the doctors, and I say, I've got the flu. I've caught it off my girlfriend's, like, shit, you know, like, and Belle just went into the doctor's, so, and she was given this medication. I know we've both got we've got the same illness, so I thought I'd better just get the same. We'll all get the same medication, and life will be good, right? So he goes, "What are your symptoms?" I'm like, "Yeah, getting there with the fever, so a little bit congested in the throat. I've got a bit of a headache, and just tired, lethargic." It's like, lethargic? Yeah, I look lethargic. Like, trust me, I'm lethargic right now. Usually I am abounding with energy. And he goes, and then my girlfriend goes, "Yeah, he's usually a lot more energy than this." And he's like, "Wow, okay, fair enough. Like, I'm pretty run down right now as I'm talking to you guys, but I've got this energy, you know." And if I didn't utilize that thinking about stuff like speakers and personal development, if I didn't have somewhere to focus that energy, it would be focused on, like, what the hell would it be focused on? Then if I don't focus it myself, it'll find somewhere to focus it. Excuse me. And I may or may not like where it's focused. You know, it might might start going down dark paths that are not helpful to me or anyone. So that's why when I'm working with my hands, it's really motivational. Like it clears my mind. It's kind of like meditation. And if that's what it's given to me, then that's a gift that the world has given to me. And I would love to be able to be a catalyst to give that to other people. Maybe I can inspire other people to have a passion for audio. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, I don't know. I won't inspire most people, but there's probably going to be people out there that I do inspire and that do get, have somewhere to focus their energies, their attention, and all this sort of stuff. And that's awesome. You know what I mean? That's a really powerful thing. Like, it sounds silly, but I've met so many people who have said car audio has saved my life, simply because they now have something in their life that they can believe in. And it sounds silly to anyone who doesn't have that level of passion for something. It'll sound really silly, but honestly, when you have something to direct your life towards, you know, maybe there are better things than audio to direct your life towards. But mate, it can't help. It can't hurt. It can't hurt. It can only help to move you forwards and all that. If you've got somewhere to direct your energy. So if I could inspire that in people, that would really pay off for me. That would make me feel really, really good. I'd be quite proud to have been that influencer to help people, to inspire people, and to create community as well. I know that in time, for my product to be successful, I need to create a community around my products and supporting other speaker manufacturers and supporting it so that we're all in it together. We're all helping each other out. We're all doing awesome shit together. You know what I mean? Like, can you see that is great? Isn't that a great motivator? But honestly, it's so far up in the clouds that it doesn't have the power behind it to actually snap people into action. You're not going to be like, oh, I'm going to spend, 70% of my cash on this higher purpose so I can help people. I don't know, and to be in it for the long haul for years and years and years. I've been doing this for years. I've been working on this stuff for years. And in the last 12 months, maybe a bit more, probably a year and a half or so, I've actually finally started putting my plans into action and getting the ball rolling. And I'm pretty proud of the little tiny things that I've achieved. And so what I hope for you guys is that you can think about these motivations. There's nothing wrong with having an ego motivator, as long as you understand that it's only going to last so long and you need bigger reasons to do what you want to do, right? That's how it works. That's how motivation, that's how drive functions. That's the mechanics of it. So, it would really pay for you guys if you, when you're daydreaming, when you've got a moment to daydream, pick out a goal of yours, a long-term goal in particular, and try to figure out these 3 different types of motivators. Try to get a couple in each category, maybe at least 3 or 4 in each category, but the more the better. If you can get 10, that's great, I've only told you a handful of them because otherwise the video is already half an hour, so I can't go on and on and on. And I've already gone on and on and on, in my opinion. These videos are always too long. So, if you did that, and then you looked at your list, and in each category, you rearrange them from most important to least important, in each ego, day-to-day, higher purpose, reason. Oh, that's cool. If you did that, then you would, most likely you would find direction. You'll definitely start having a lot more drive. And you'll have all these different reasons to bounce between why you are doing what you're doing. Because motivation comes and goes. It doesn't last forever. So it's good to have a big bank of things to push you forwards, especially when things get a bit tough, you know, and you need that. It's it's important. So do that exercise if you want. Just you can do it in your head. It's probably better to do it with pen and paper, but even doing a half-hearted job in your head is probably better than nothing. Give it a crack, and let me know what you think of all of this stuff. And let me know what motivates you to do a specific goal. And maybe if you haven't got a goal, like there's something that you've been putting off for ages, maybe maybe you're only putting it off because you're not clear on what motivates you about it. Like, why is it even a good idea? Why is it even important to do? You know what I mean? Like, that's most likely the reason why you haven't started. So, you know, I was talking to a friend the other day, and I'm 30 now. And a lot of these projects, these audio projects of products that I wanted to sell and do all this sort of stuff with, how do I put this? They weren't, I've been putting them off for way too long, you know. I've been planning these for years and years and years, and for various reasons, I keep putting it off. And I keep, like, doing other things that are less important to me. For so many reasons, right? So, and if I don't start now, they're never going to happen. I'm just going to be stuck doing this job, which I love, but there's better jobs out there, such as things that I think, like, that are in my blood. You know what I mean? This speaker stuff's in my blood now, right? And if you don't know what motivates you, if you don't know what's your hobbies, you don't know this, you don't know that, well then, where are you going? If you don't choose your destiny, destiny will choose one for you, right? And it may not be so pretty. It may not be, you know, that might be society picking it out for you. It might be your parents picking out a destiny for you. You don't want that. You want to pick your own thing that inspires you, that fills you up, you know? Or you can just fit the status quo. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with that, but, you know, you'd be a lot happier if you do something cool. You know, do something for yourself. Try to have a positive impact in the world, you know? Anyway, let's have a think about that. And I would love to hear from you. Anyway, keep up that beautiful sky blue complexion, and I will see you in the next video or party. Bye.